talking to you for like 5 minutes and I hadn't pressed the button to start recording. So here I am again on my way to get me lashes done. I go every other week, like clockwork. It's just easier for me if I'm on a routine, so I know like every other Thursday I'm getting my lashes done. But hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be looking out here, my surroundings, because I am driving. And even though I'm out in the country, this road does have, typically it's got some traffic on it all the time. Anyway, welcome. My name's Audrey. This is my second YouTube channel. I have another channel. It's all about true crime, which I haven't been able to post over there often at all because I haven't had time to properly, I don't want to say research, but really to think about the crimes that are going on and the details of the stuff that's going on, because I like to come at those cases, a lot of murder cases, from my perspective as being a psychic. That's my whole gig on that channel, is because I'm a lot of times talking to the people who were murdered. It's nuts. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know it sounds crazy, but historically I'm right. I've been right. I just have, and that's the thing. That's why I keep going. But since Jonathan's home, my son is home. He's 22. He's special needs. I'm waiting for him to get into a program. Hello, police officer. Okay, I'm coming to a stop. Okay. Yeah, don't do that. So I have to put, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful when I make those videos on crime cases, because it's important to know what I'm talking about, obviously. I want to get things right. I'd rather not report than report something wrong, if that makes sense. Obviously, no one wants to get information wrong. Duh. Anyway, so I'm still able to do videos on this channel because it's just chit chat with you guys and what's going on at the house and things I want to do. I do have another craft for you guys today. It's gonna be another checkerboard craft, but I want you to see how different it's gonna look versus the checkerboard I did in the last craft video. I want you to see what color does to the project. So the last project was browns, light brown, dark brown. This project, I'm gonna make it much lighter in color, and it's gonna give a totally different vibe than the last project that we did. And this piece of wood that I'm going to be using, we got at a thrift shop. I don't know where. I don't know. So everything's already at the house. I'm just kind of like looking around. This piece of wood had a couple of hangers on it, and we haven't used it. We've had it for years, and we've never used it with the hangers on it. So Chase just took the hangers off for me, took the hooks off. So I can paint it, and then I'll show you how I'm going to use it around the house. And what else is happening? My daughter, who lives on the East Coast, invited us over. Of course, we can go over anytime pretty much, really. But she did voice that she would like to see me. She'd like to see Chase too, but that's just, you know, again, we need someone to watch Johnny, and I need to talk to my hair lady, my hair girl. Hey girl, if you're watching, hey. And talk to her because she knows people who do special needs help. You know, I don't say daycare, but basically that's what it is. Daycare. I just really wish we could buy our house right now, because the house we want to buy has a built-in like mother-in-law unit, but I see it more as a home health care opportunity for a healthcare worker to come in, stay with Johnny overnight. It would obviously take a couple people. If Chase and I wanted to go overseas, it would take a couple people day and night to watch John, because he can't be alone ever. Can't be alone. Anyway, so my daughter wants to see us, but I'm gonna go. Chase is gonna hold down the fort for me while I go, and I'll just go for probably end up being a week, because it's such a pain in the booty to get to Vermont from California. It's a nightmare. There's absolutely no direct flights from anywhere. Even SFO, San Jose, nothing. LAX, nothing. They don't do direct. You can get a direct from New York, which New York is like an hour, from my daughter's house. But getting to New York is it's just a pain. And I have found a flight from where I live to Denver, I think is where I went last time. So I can go straight to Denver, and then Denver straight into Burlington, Vermont. And so it's just a long day. It takes longer to get to Vermont than I can get to England. And it's twice as far going to England. So it's just like, I'd rather just go to England. No, but I'm obviously I want to see my daughter. I cry about her every day. It's just, I'm just one of those people. I'm one of those women. I can't handle my kids being from me. I just can't. There's someone in front of me with a New York license plate. That's pretty funny. I never saw this coming. But my daughter's always been full of surprises, and she's definitely her own woman. That is for damn sure. And that is something I wanted for her. She's independent and strong. Not to say she hasn't had problems. Some of the problems are from my parenting and stuff. Anyway, we can talk more about that later. But anyway, I'm excited that I get to go see my daughter. Probably not till the summer. Summers are miserable there, but it's fine. It's fine. So I'm going to go see my guy. Oh, I was going to bring him a copy of my book, my children's book. Have you guys checked out my children's book? It's available on Amazon. I'm just so nervous about it right now. I was telling Chase last night. I'm just like, I don't know. I really want everyone to get it, because I want you to have the hope that I see. I want you to understand what's really happening when we die or our loved ones die. And of course that includes our animals. What's going on? And that's what the book is about, even though it's a children's book. I think I did a good job. I think it makes sense, but maybe it's just too much of a touchy situation of subject. Maybe, is it too touchy to is it unrealistic to sell books like that? I mean, we gotta talk about it. I mean, I don't know. So the publishers didn't do much at all to help sell the book at all. They didn't do anything, basically, which is why I'm not going to use them again. I'm going to just go through Amazon. You can publish your book through Amazon, and it's a real book. You get your copyrights, and you get all the same stuff that you do from a publishing house, but there's no costs up front, and it's your words. So a lot of times, when you get a book, I can fit there, I think. when you write a book and you send it to publishers, they're like, sometimes, you know, this is what could happen. They'll be like, okay, we see the potential here. We see what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do here. But we need to change this, and this. And it's like, no, especially with the book, the children's book I did, because it's very specific information and it has to be in the right order. I mean, for me as a psychic, to try and explain death to anyone, it has to be very specific and in a specific order. You know, you can't be changing my stuff. No. This is probably what J.K. Rowling felt when a movie was being made and her books being published and all that. So wouldn't that be wonderful if my book could be as famous as Harry Potter? Wouldn't that be something? So I think what I'm going to do, well, I know what I'm going to do. I am going to start handing out my book. I have a few copies, and so like I'm going to give one to my eyelash guy because he's a dog person. So ooh. I've tried to talk to him a little bit about psychic, and he's not really, you know, he's not really into it, which is fine. I'm gonna go, I might go to the ASPCA, the animal shelter, and donate one there. And maybe, there's lots of animal things around here. Donate to other shelters and stuff and do that. By the way, 2 days ago, Chase was closing up the house for the night, you know, making sure the side doors are locked and that there's food out front for the stray cats and stuff. And he yells all of a sudden for me. He was in the garage, and Chase is like, babe. I'm like, yeah. He's like, come here. Oh, God. I hate when he does that. So I go out to the garage. There's this huge German Shepherd. Big dog in the garage. I'm like, oh, no. Here we go again. This is the third dog. And I don't mind fostering the dogs. I just get upset that this poor dog has either been abandoned, tossed out, thrown out by the owners, or has escaped and no one's looking for it. You know, it's always a bad situation when you see a dog running around the neighborhood. And in our neighborhood, specifically, there are so many German Shepherds all over the place, different colored, not just the traditional colors, but also, like, this one was yellow, like a yellow lab. At first I thought she was a lab, and I'm like, oh, no, she's a German Shepherd. So, you know, we have 4 cats, so we can't really have a dog because it just wouldn't work out right now. You know, no, it just wouldn't work out. Anyway, he hung out signs. I typed up the signs, and he went and hung them out, and then he went on to the Nextdoor app. If you have never been on the Nextdoor app, Nextdoor, it's one word, Nextdoor, you can post stuff, you can ask if anyone's seen your animal, or you can say, like we did, we have an animal here. She had a collar on, but no name. And we did end up finding the owner the next day because Chase took the dog to the vet to have the chip read. So thank God she was chipped. So that the company that owns the chip that's been put in the dog was able to call the owner. So the chip company was able to get a hold of the owner, and she was in shock because this dog's been out lost for 9 weeks. She said 9 weeks. 9 weeks. And she's a big dog, but we ended up seeing pictures of what she used to look like. Very muscular. So the family says, looks like she's lost about 20 pounds, and it's all muscle that she lost. Such a beautiful dog. If we were able to have, if we were ready for a dog, she would have been the perfect dog. She didn't bark unnecessarily. She knew all her commands. She's housebroken. She wanted to come in the house so bad. We couldn't let her in, though. We have the 2 kittens and the 2 big cats, so that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, she was just so cute. And when we found out her name before we dropped her off at her owner's house, and I said, "Is your name Millie? Are you Millie?" And she's like, "What? What? What? Oh, yeah." I said, "I'm going to take you to your mama." And she starts crying and crying. It was so cute. But Chase wanted to keep her. It's like, if we know who the family is, then we need to, obviously. And he knew that, but it was like, he really wanted to keep that dog for himself. And she did remind all of us of our dog that we had to put down, Benjamin's dog, Patches. We had to put Patches down about a year ago. And she reminded me of Patchy a little bit too. Anyway, we had a dog for 12 hours, so that was fun, but it's always stressful, There's so many animals running around loose. The funny thing about her is the owners are like, "That's not our collar." So someone put a collar on the dog. And I told Chase it was probably someone who wanted to keep her. But the dog got out. So anyway, happy ending for Millie, the yellow German Shepherd. Eyes are burning. Okay, here's a close-up of the fill of the eyelashes. There we go. And let's get home and start that craft. Let's go. Come on. All right, let's get into this craft. So there is the cutting board. It's a couple different colors. And as I mentioned, I've had it for a couple years. And what I'm doing is taking some of the raw sienna that was left in that jar, and I'm adding white, pure white paint to it, because I want that for my base. And again, we're going to be doing checkerboard style. So using the raw sienna, I put enough to what I think would work. So I'm just getting it off the brush there because I used that to stir the container. So I'm just haphazardly putting it on. I feel like I don't have all my professional painting supplies anymore. I don't know where my stuff goes, and I'm tired of buying stuff and it just disappears. So I've just been using what I have. A bigger brush would have been better than the one I'm using here, but it does work. It's okay. So I'm going to paint the sides white. I have my little mini blow dryer there, so I'll be using that. And I think I'm listening as I was recording this. I think I was listening to stand-up comedy on Netflix. I just watched them over and over and over again, all the different stand-up people. So I got the little blow dryer out. I'm blow drying it on the low setting. It has 2 settings. And just on the low, it just helps speed up the process because time is of the essence. I don't have a lot of time, so I got to do things in a faster way than I normally would. If Johnny was at school, I could take my time a bit more. So, but I don't want to stop crafting because he's not at school. So here goes coat number 2. There's no wrong way to do this. It is yours. You have your own design, your own style. Even if you copy exactly what I do in this video, yours will look different. It just does. We're individuals. Our strokes are different. You know, the pressure that we put on the brushes and stuff, it's just not going to be identical. And if you have somebody in your life who's watching you do crafts and just is negative about the whole process, well, I don't want to tell you what I would say, but it wouldn't be nice. They can get a life and they can get over it, because this is your time that you're doing this stuff. No one else's. And, you know, it's creativity is individual, and every piece is a masterpiece. They're all different. They just are. That's why handmade stuff is so expensive. It's not mass produced. It has good energy put into it from the fact it's coming off your energy. It's complicated, but trust me, whatever you can come up with is absolutely perfect. And if you decide you don't like it, guess what? It's acrylic paint. You can paint over. So you can just keep going over and over until you're happy with it. And I do come across a little bit of that in this craft project, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I am just blow drying. Sometimes I would just daze off because I'm watching the TV. I'm like, oh no, it's been 15 minutes or whatever. So yeah, it's fine. So it's not sticky at all. All right, I'm going to paint this other side too. This is really pretty wood. It's really pretty. I kind of felt bad for painting it because it is so pretty, but I decided I want 2 for 1. I want 2 looks out of this one piece of wood. So, what did I say originally at the beginning of the video that I was going to do? Oh, I said I was going to do swirls, I think is what I end up telling you. But it doesn't turn out to be a swirl. It turns out to be something else. But I still got 2 looks out of it. Again, I bought nothing. I've had this stuff, and I will continue to go through my house and zhuzh up some stuff. And you know what? If I don't like the item after I've kind of brought it back to life, then that means it's time to donate, because I don't have space, physical space or emotional space to have stuff around me that I'm just not going to appreciate and love. Okay, so this is dry. I'm using the same exact ruler as I did last time. I just figured out where the center was, and then I just started from there. I'm not good at maths. I can't explain it more than this. So I did a line there, then I moved it over, did a line there from that line, and from that line, and so on. And then lines this way, and then all the way down. Now I'm sure there's a better way to do it, because in the end I do have these little tiny side pieces, but I don't care. This is just for me, for home. I mean, for you, I want yours to be pretty and I want you to be happy with it. So you can always play around, and what you probably would want to do is make your squares a different size. So either larger or smaller, depending on what you're working with. So I can't tell you because I don't know what you're working with. I don't know the dimensions and how wide you want your squares to be. It's up to you. You can make them as wide as a finger. You can make tiny, tiny checkers, or you can make them bigger. So you just kind of do whatever you want. But for me, I'm doing it this way. You can see this is beat up because this is where Chase had these. These were from our Vermont house. These were in our bathroom, his and hers upstairs. Those were on here. I don't know why they were on there. I think because we knew we were moving and he didn't want them to get lost in the move. So he just screwed them onto this board. That makes sense to me. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the raw Sienna. This is one of the ones I used over here. It's this color right here. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So on the other side, it's a little bit more swirly. You can see it there on the camera. What I might do, I might go back and kind of put the veins in. So using more white, I might do another layer of white, and then I might go in and just put veins like a marble and make this side look kind of marbly. So then I'll have 2 in 1. So hopefully this will turn out to be marbly. And then this side hopefully will turn out to be checkered. So I can flip flop it depending on what I'm doing. I move stuff around my house all the time. Chase is, he's always so confused, but that's okay. It keeps it fun around the house. So, all right, I'm gonna start painting these squares. Okay, here we are, painting squares. So these turned out much nicer. I mean, not nicer, but I was able to stay in the lines a bit better this project than the last project. Again, you know, I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. Life is too serious to worry about trying to be perfect. So I do the best I can, go through, do the squares. I would do a few and then dry it, do a few more and then dry it, and then go over them if I want to. I just enjoy the process. So I kind of repeat some of the steps just because it's fun. What's up? Need a diaper check? What time is it? Oh, it's almost time for bananas, but not yet. I'm here. Okay, let's just put a lid on this. Let's put a lid on this. See if that works. How are you? Yay. Okay, so, oops, sorry, this is going to be in the way. Let me close that. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me see if I can show you. It's hard to do because I'm holding the camera. So this side has 2 coats of the brown. This side has 1 coat, so you can see the difference. So I'm gonna let it dry overnight. I did use the blow dryer on it for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna let it dry overnight and then put another coat on these few here that are left with 1 coat. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this yet. The reason is white, straight white is just so fussy and it gets dirty so easily. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. This one, you know, just looks, I don't know. I'm just okay with this other one. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I think a different color. I tried to make my own kind of taupe. I tried to make a taupe using the raw sienna and white. That didn't turn out. So I'm going to think about it overnight and see how I feel in the morning. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, it's the next day at this point. So I have some Rub and Buff wax on the right, and on the left is a paint, just an acrylic paint, crafting paint. And I decided to give it a test on the back side to see which color I would like to use. This wax by Rub and Buff, it is a little smelly, not too bad at all. You put it on, you rub it right off, and then this paint, I put way too much on my brush. I needed about 1/10 of that. But I put it on and then purposely wiped it off because I want that kind of antiquing look. But I decided to go ahead and go with the wax. Honestly, either one would have been absolutely fine. So what I'm doing is I'm using a little piece of paper towel. I'm dabbing it the smallest amount on that cloth and rubbing it over the board. So I do end up going not only over the white squares, but also the brown squares too. And then you just rub it right off, and then the residual oils stay behind and change the color, which I do like. I like this better than the white. The white, like I said, it's just too stark. I don't know. It just seems so cheapy to me when it's just white like that, at least in this case. I'm sure there are some cases where it looks just fine, but in my opinion, for me, for this project, I didn't care for the white. And I just rub my little heart out with this rub and buff, and I just went over it a few times and over it a few times, and then I rubbed out the brown squares a little bit more so that more of the brown shone through, and just enjoyed this part. It's just kind of relaxing. I don't know. I just enjoy all the little different things to do in these projects. So you might want to wear gloves. I was fine, but it does have a little bit of a smell. So if you have someone very sensitive, you might want to do it when they're not home, or go outside and do it, or open the window. So you can see the differences there. But let me take it into the kitchen, because this is where I want it to go. Here's the final look. I painted the sides brown, as you can see there. So there we go. This is where it's going to stay. It doesn't match my countertops. I'm a renter. This isn't my home, so I'm not worried about it matching or not. Okay, here we go. So I'm pointing out to you the lid on that blue container matches nicely with the brown in the tray. And there's the other side. Surprise. It's toile. It's the blue toile. You've seen me use it before. Look how pretty it looks with the butter dish. Everything you see here was thrifted. The blue container, the Mickey Mouse container, the butter dish, everything was thrifted. Love the project. Hope you try it. Try some version of it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Check out the other channel. It's pretty fun too. It's about crime, different, but it's still me over there. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys real soon. Have a great week. Take care.